I am the living legend of hair loss, the true alpha male. I rule the kingdom of hair loss. The moment you've been waiting for, everything you ever wanted to know about the universe, you're going to receive that in this video right here. All because of a comment I received on a video called Growing Receding Hairline Crew Cut into Flat Top for 2020. Here's our friend that left a comment. Hacker Indian Call Center. That's hilarious. I love that screen name. Comment says this: Nick, I have a very strange case of hair loss at age 15. Basically, the right side of the back of my head has hair that is miniaturized over the past few months, and quite recently, my right side of my head has hair which is miniaturizing. It's so weird because some of my hairs on my head on the right have become so small and stick out, I can't even side part my hair because of the hairs on the upper right side are so small. I haven't seen anyone with this type of thing. My hairline is straight, but it looks a bit receding on the right. What is happening in your humble opinion? And then also, let's see. Yeah, there we go. And then I left another comment saying, this guy jokes, man. Yeah, I responded back to that comment saying, I'm just happy that you understand it's all a joke, unlike many of my viewers. That got 7 thumbs up when I said that? Okay, look, I will answer your question, but first, I love it. I love it when we truly break the fourth wall. I love it. Yeah. 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 I love it when we break the fourth wall. Wow. Like, you guys know that I'm just an actor. That's all I am. I have a real life. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I work in HR and recruiting. I'm a commuter. Like, I make good money. I live in the suburbs. I've got it made. I'm very happy that this is my life. But as a hobby to make $500 a month, I just answer people's random comments on YouTube, and then I get a check every month for $500. Like, that's all this is to me. Like, it's so funny because I'm trying to like mess up the hair loss channel. I've tried all year in 2019. I went 3 months this year with making no hair loss videos, purposely talked about other stuff, but nothing. People are not obsessed with anything more than they are hair loss, which is the reason I just keep making these videos. So that's why I love to try to trigger people who aren't in the joke. And I am living legend. No, you're not. If you're really the living legend and alpha male, you wouldn't have to say it. You're just a beta. Yeah, and that proves that you don't get the joke. That proves you don't have a sense of humor. It proves that you're searching hair loss videos and that you're not confident about yourself, but at the same time don't have a sense of humor, which is one of the major things that actually matters if you want to be attractive to anybody, especially females. If you don't get that that's a joke, then the joke is clearly on you. At least 7 people get where I'm coming from. Thank you for the 7 people who like that comment. Now, back to the actual comment. Here we go. So here's, in my humble opinion, knowing that I'm nothing more than an entertainer, I know nothing about hair loss. Other than, actually, I do though. I know so many theories about hair loss, about the beard, about the ethnic background, about if you go gray early, you're less likely to go bald. Your 35th birthday, look at an age 1 photo of yourself as a projection of 35, and then what happens when I talk about all that stuff? No, because I know this one guy, and that's not true, because when you think like a boy, you are looking for exceptions to the rule. When you think like a man, you are looking at the general rule to find out what's going to be most true for most people. So that's the thing. I am a man. So many of my viewers are not. They think like children. They think like boys. So, you know, this is an initiation program, an initiation process to watch these videos and to keep watching them. Eventually you will shed the skin of being a boy and thinking, it's all about my looks. People will love me if I don't have hair. And then in reality, I'm like, oh, he was right. Being funny matters. Being good at communicating matters. Knowing what I'm good and bad at. And owning that matters. Helping other people. Making other people feel good about themselves despite their own insecurities that they're obsessed with. If I help build them up, then they're going to like me no matter how my hair is. He's right. But when you're new to my channel, it's hard to get that this is all ultimately a joke to me. All right, here we go. back to the comment. My humble opinion is, based on what you're telling me, it sounds like if what you're saying is true, then you may be the guy that goes bald soon. And it's just that it's sprouting up in certain areas first and not all at once. I've had many guys leave me comments saying that for the receding hairline, they're noticing it going up higher on one side than the other. Maybe Norwood 1 here, but then Norwood 2 here. I can't relate to that personally, but I think it's just that sometimes certain parts of your body just aren't all in sync. And ultimately, the human body is not perfectly symmetrical anyway. And I love to remind everybody about how unsymmetrical I am. So just to put in perspective, look at my teeth. In theory, that would match up with my nose. But if that were the case, my nose, well, yeah, see, I guess my nose is crooked. You can see a definitive line that just goes that way. So apparently, I don't know if my nose was broken at some point when I played basketball in 6th grade. I mean, I got hit in the head with the nose with a basketball a few times, but it didn't hurt that bad. But even Tom Cruise has this issue too, where it's like his teeth is over here, his nose is over here. Yeah. But anyway, and even Rivers Cuomo, the lead singer of Weezer, one of his legs was 2 inches shorter than the other. So he had this surgery so that he would have even legs. So knowing that the human body is not perfectly symmetrical, I wouldn't be surprised at all if ultimately you're getting a preview of the balding process and just certain parts of your head have a jump start on the rest and it eventually catch up. Boy, that's not what anybody wanted to hear, was it? But I think it's important as your father figure, all of you, I'm your father figure. If you had a father that was truly involved in your life, you'd be talking to him about your insecurities, and he would be able to tell you all these things that actually matter about what makes the male identity, and that it's not hair. That you can be confident despite your hair. In fact, you might be more confident if you don't have hair. Like the guys who go bald at 20 and then they have to become confident in other things. But ultimately, for your father figure, a good father is going to build you up, but he's also going to be real with you. Based on my humble opinion on what I read in that comment, it does sound like you might be the guy. If you're 15 and you're seeing this, you might be the guy who is going bald by 20 or 21 or 22. You might be. Those guys exist. You might be one of them. And I don't make this video just for you. I'll make it for anybody in this situation. It's a matter of now just going and accepting that. Accepting it now. And thinking, okay, I'm 15 now. What I'm going to start focusing on is this. I'm going to start working out accordingly. When I lose enough hair, I'm just going to be the guy that shaves my hair off. Even if I'm only 20, I'll be that guy. And I'm going to start watching videos on how to be funny. I'm going to be watching videos on how to talk to people. Because I'm going to be the most likable bald guy at age 20. Granted, there's going to be other guys with full heads of hair when I'm 20. But they will be the guys that are watching Nick Shell's channel freaking out saying, am I going to go bald? Am I going to go bald? Am I going to go bald? Would I go? Even though they're not bald. Meanwhile, the 20-year-old guy is bald, but he knows who he is. And people like him, and he has more confidence than the guy who fears something that hasn't happened yet. Now, again, I'm your father figure. I recognize that's not easy to grasp. But what if you grasp it? What if you go with it? Worst case scenario is a good thing. Worst case scenario is I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, now you focused everything on actually building your identity as a man, being funny, being good at communicating, building other people up, knowing what you're good at, knowing what you're bad at, knowing that your confidence is not based on how you look, knowing that females do not judge men at the same harsh level that we judge females for their looks. Knowing all those things, you'll be so young. Whether you're bald or not, you'll already be more confident just by knowing these things. So there you go. That's the reality of it. What you're telling me makes it sound like you've got a preview of what the rest of your scalp's going to do. Because I have never in my life seen a man with a receding hairline that was just way back here and then the other wasn't. And I've never seen a man who was just bald on one weird spot over here but not the other. Ultimately, it's just that part of your body hasn't caught up. Even like with the Incredible Hulk in the Marvel movies, aren't there certain times he's like, and like part of his arm will get big all of a sudden, and like when he's morphing into the Incredible Hulk, and I think it's just kind of like that. I'm your father figure. I'm being real with you. I'm preparing you for the worst case scenario. But again, if the worst case scenario is that I'm actually wrong, either way, this is good for you, because the thing that you actually need, the fundamental thing you need, is to be confident in who you are, because that is attractive. Hair, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to be the most confident 20-year-old around despite being bald. Because then you don't have to be, am I going to go bald? Am I going to go bald? Oh, I'm 20. Am I going to go bald? Oh, I'm 25. Am I going to go bald? Oh, I'm 30. I'm going to go bald. And I promise you, about a year and a half ago, a guy left a comment on my videos, and he told me that even when he's dead in a casket, he doesn't want to be bald. So this guy, let's say he lives to be 80, it would still bother him if he was dead, he's laying down in the casket, and people are looking down, and if he shows any signs of balding, that will bother him, even though he's dead. What? So yeah, I think you're better off being bald in 20 and being a person that people actually like being around because he believes in himself, and he has a skill set and humor and communication and builds other people up instead of focusing on his own insecurities. That is actually a blessing if you can have that at 20. Instead of being the 20-year-old or 30-year-old, am I gonna go bald? Am I gonna go bald? Those guys just don't get it. That's a boyish mentality. I'm your father figure. I help you to become a man. Your comments belong right here.